Well, the official fishing season starts May 5th south of Prince Albert, and no one that I know is more excited about it than our resident fishing expert, Jason Matty of GetFishing.ca. So good morning, Jason, and what do I need to know to get ready?
Well, first thing is you got to get yourself a license. Basically, it's Highway 55 is kind of the divider, and south of there, May 5th, which is Sunday. May 15th for the central part, which is Lac La Ronge area, and then the far north is the 25th, in case people were wondering specifically about the dates. But you get your license, and then you're free to go fishing anywhere. And I've got a few different techniques I want to talk about, including what is 2 hooks, a weight, and some bait is what we're going to talk about today.
Perfect, and we'll get into that in just a second, but you do have a certain name for this time of year.
Yeah, I call it the great equalizer, and the reason is because the shore angler is going to have as much success, perhaps more so than the boat angler, because the fish are shallow. They're working the edges of the lake. That's where the water warms the fastest. That's where the food chain begins in the spring. So great time to be a shore angler, just like this.
And what is the reason for that? Like, where are the fish biting right now?
Well, you know, when it comes to rivers and moving water and sort of the northern exposure of lakes, you know, where the sun hits it the longest and the most, that's where you want to fish. And for those of you, I'm holding a carp there in this shot. But you can cast your big spoons and crankbaits and stuff as much as you want, and you're going to catch pike and some walleyes doing that. But when things get kind of like we're dealing with today, warm, cold, rainy, you might want to slow it down a bit with what we call the patented pickerel rig that you can buy commercially or tie one up like we have here.
Perfect. And you know, you mentioned carp that you were holding there in that B-roll. So what should I be using? And that's what you're going to show us right now.
Exactly. So you can buy what they call a commercial pickerel rig, which has 2 hooks a little higher up the line, and they're kind of hard to see with a weight on the bottom like this. And you just throw it out, let it sit there, and wait for something to grab it. Well, this is one we tie up ourselves by tying loop knots in the hook. You can kind of see one just in front of me here. And we load that up with bait, and if you're fishing the river systems up around Saskatchewan, Battlefords, PA, that area, you throw this out, you can get walleye, you can pick off the odd sturgeon perhaps, goldeye, you name it. You can even get pike on it with minnows. But down south, you get lots of carp, and you even got a chance of getting some walleyes. And the reason I talk about carp at this time of year is because they're usually really, really hungry, and they get up to like 30 pounds. So they're quite fun in areas of the Qu'Appelle and eastern Saskatchewan with the Assiniboine River system as well.
You know, you lead me into my next question there. Carp, they can be pretty big fish.
Oh,
so
yeah.
When they get up there, like, how do you catch? What tackles do you use?
Well, I got a pretty big, heavy rod here. Like this is capable of throwing 4 ounces, handling up to 50-pound braided line. And it's really important that you tackle up properly for these so you can land them, number 1. And number 2, you have to have yourself a good landing net because they're really hard to grab because just the way their head is shaped, they're hard to kind of grab and pull out of the water, and they're very strong. So you want to be mindful of those things. And a lot of people, some newer people to our country, will eat them and like to eat them. Hey, give them a try. They're very plentiful, and there's no limit on them.
Perfect. Is there anything else I need to know as the fishing season gets going here? You
know, the big thing is it could be extremely hot or it could be extremely cold, and then the mosquitoes are out, so you want to make sure you've got all that stuff. You got your bug spray, you got the right clothing, raincoat like a day like today, and just to be more comfortable out there pursuing those fish. And the ticks, they're coming out too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the bugs will be out. If people are looking for more information, what's your website?
Yeah, go to getfishing.ca. We've got lots of spring fishing specific techniques on there that you can learn about, and of course the government website to get your license.
Well, there you go. And just a reminder, right off the top of this interview, we did say that the fishing season does start on May 5th. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.